Okay guys, so last time in the anime, we saw that Yulisha and Auraid fought a tough devil. This devil was using Soul of Marleyfest to keep on regenerating. It was Bishop Tristan from church who had sent this devil to kill Lise, yet Lise and Kurt went into that old ruins from underground tunnel and saw Marleyfest, so Kurt stayed behind to help her. While Lise went to save Yulisha, Marleyfest was stuck in a magic circle, so Kurt just casually broke the circle, which was indestructible. That's why the devil couldn't heal anymore and was killed in the end. Kurt was nice to Marleyfest and even gave her the food, but this food actually healed a curse that Tristan had put on her. That's when she realized that Kurt was the reason their party got strong and famous fast, and they did wrong by kicking him out, so Marleyfest apologized. But because she was also a culprit who was after Princess Lise, she got arrested, and everything was turned out to be great in the end. So now, the story goes back to when Kurt was a kid. He met a girl whose dad was a merchant. Kurt tried to talk to her, but she just ignored him. He even said her horn was pretty, but she didn't say anything. She told Kurt her dad said not to talk to anyone from this village because everyone here is strange, but Kurt didn't care about being weird, and that's how he became friends with Hildegard that day. Then Kurt took her to the forest to play, but Hildegard ate some bad berries, so Kurt quickly made a cure and gave it to her mouth to mouth. It was such a long time ago. But Kurt still remembers her, and now they came to a village as Hay had water issues. The next village had a water reservoir, but they wouldn't open the gates for this village, so Yulisha decided to visit that neighboring village, but the others had went up the hill to help an old man. So Yulisha went to do her job, and met an old lady who was asking for help for the same thing. But then others came running with news, and Yulisha goes to check things out and saw the lake got full of water. Nobody knew how it happened, but then the answer himself showed up. Kurt just brought water from underground. But the village chief and others thought Yulisha did it. Kurt, who didn't know about the problem, thought it was cool that Yulisha solved the job so fast. And then the villagers thanked them with eggs. Kurt planned to make an omelet out of it, but at that time, Lise was meeting with Lord Tycoon. He's a big shot who holds the same level of influence as a duke, but he is dependent financially on other nobles. Lise was there representing the new Atelier master to talk about the recent incident of undead attacks, and Tycoon was curious about this new Atelier master. Lise knew he was trying to get info out of her, so she was careful not to say too much, but the Lord pointed out that the town they were staying in was just a military town with no real name. So, his town is the closest to the demon territory. That's why he wanted the new Atelier master to be in charge of his town, like a viceroy. But Kurt had to show himself in public, and he didn't even know he was the new Atelier master. So Lise tried to say no to this idea, but the Lord was smarter. He said the knights wouldn't argue because the new master was the reason for their recent win against the undead army. Lise hoped Auraid would say no, but he agreed, and seeing the princess get so worried, the Lord thought the new master must have some problem. So Lise started talking about how great Kurt was, and that's when she messed up, because it means she got no reason to refuse. So now the damage was done, and Kurt has to be in charge of this town. And Lise thought maybe Yulisha could pretend to be Atelier master. Then she asked where Kurt was, and Yulisha said he's doing child rearing. Princess got shocked, but she was also ready to adopt the Kurt's child. But Yulisha clears up, he was taking care of an egg. One of the eggs they brought was going to hatch soon, so Kurt was looking after it. And just then Kurt called them. Then on the other side, Mimiko was super busy with tons of paperwork. They got news that Tristan was killed with someone else, who probably summoned the devil Yulisha fought. As for Marleyfest, Mimiko had kept her alive because Kurt really wanted to see her. But then, Mimiko also heard the egg got hatched, and guess what? A real human baby came out of it. One problem after another. The baby saw Kurt as her papa, and Kurt at least knew human babies don't come from eggs. That means she is a monster who could hurt anyone if they are not careful. So Yulisha decided to kill her before anyone gets harmed, and asked Kurt to give her the baby. It was a hard choice, but Kurt couldn't let her do it, and said he would take care of her. But then the baby called Yulisha Mama, and it made her think about having a family with Kurt. Lise told her to wake up from her dream, and taking that chance, Lise grabbed the baby from her. She called Lise her mom too. She was winning everyone over, and Ken also said they should watch over the baby, so let her live, with everyone insisting. Yulisha couldn't kill the cute baby, and gave up. And now they have to name her. Everyone started thinking, and Lise came up with a name that uses parts of her and Kurt's names. But Mama Yulisha didn't like it and wanted her name in it, so naming her caused a fuss, and the baby woke up thinking her two mothers were fighting, so both ladies gave up and made peace. Kurt saw how the baby brought everyone together and thought Akuri would be a good name. It means area in ancient language because she connected the three of them in a line. Both mothers agreed on that name, and later that night, Yulisha gave Mimiko's guard some of Akuri's hair and spit to find out more about her. Then the next day, Kurt made a separate room for Akuri using orichalcum and other strong, or it was like a safe prison, but Yulisha couldn't bring herself to tell Kurt it was like a prison for Akuri. Then they had to leave for work, but Akuri wanted to tag along too, so Papa Kurt explained that they had to go alone, but they would be back at night to play with her. Akuri accepted it like a good kid, but Kurt felt sad leaving Akuri alone, so Yulisha cheered him up somehow, but surprisingly they heard her voice, and Akuri was already in their carriage. Nobody knew how she got here, so Mimiko's guard dressed up like a local, and Yulisha decided to send a letter home that Akuri is with them. Kurt understood that Yulisha made that decision last night because she was worried about everyone, so he hoped Akuri wouldn't turn into a monster. With that little hope, they went on ahead, and an old man just misunderstood that our group is Heroes Party and asked them to save everyone. And right there episode 7 ends, but stay tuned to watch the next episode, and for that, subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to never miss out on an update. Till then, take care.